Let's take a look at Tennessee's special teams previews by Josh Ward. We certainly appreciate that. It's on offthehooksports.com right now. So check that out. But first, the one, the only Jacob Warren says,
What's up, everybody? This is Jacob Warren asking you to like, subscribe, and share. Dave needs this.
all right, thank you very much. Tennessee didn't get all they could have out of their special teams in 2023. Williams, to me, was a special playmaker. So he's a special teams player. I thought he should have touched the ball some on offense. I also thought he had a couple more returns in him. I was surprised he didn't break more. I thought he looked like a guy who gets loose on 6, 8, 10. I think he probably got loose on 4 to 6. Am I wrong that D Williams looked the part but didn't have quite the production that I thought he would, or did I have the bar set too high?
No, I think that D. Williams didn't have the impact. He had the impact one game. That was the Texas A&M game, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And where Heupel made the greatest decision. And guys, this is where Heupel's genius shows. Go back and look at that D. Williams punt return. Josh Heupel, they were punting from their own end zone. Typically, when somebody's punting from their own end zone, you go for the block, right, Dave?
Yes, and he set up the return. Yes.
Yes, he set up the return, but everybody on Texas A&M stayed back worrying about the block, so that D. Williams had nothing but green. It was genius by Josh Heupel. I mean, that's the type of stuff that you would never see a former Tennessee football coach do, and maybe Lane Kiffin, but that's where his intellect really shows. I think this year, I think D. Williams didn't make the same impact outside of that. But I don't think it matters because there's a guy we talked about yesterday, starting probably at safety as a freshman, who is going to be all world as a returner. And I think Dave knows who we're talking about.
Yes. Who would that be?
It's going to be somebody's Boo.
You think Boo Carter might be the return man?
I think Boo Carter could be an All-American return specialist.
Okay. Can he be better than D. Williams? Because I thought D was gonna be pretty good.
D who? Sorry.
Portions of the program. Yeah, I see what you're doing. I do think that D was going to be. I thought D was going to be very good. So you think Carter will be better than him?
I think Boo Carter is going to be a generational return specialist. Look, I am putting a bunch of expectations on Boo Carter because by proxy, that's putting a bunch of expectations on the coaches. Because if he doesn't turn out to be as good as I'm saying, then that's a major indictment of the coaches and their talent evaluation with the way they're propping him up. And so, yeah, no, I'm putting him high as a return specialist. And so, yeah, no, I think Boo Carter I think he could do what D. Williams did.
Okay. It's pretty strong. Portions of the program brought to you by the Hemp House, the premier hemp dispensary online with a wide variety. I've got some news for you here momentarily dealing with Tennessee's place kicking duties. The Hemp House, the premier hemp dispensary online with a wide variety, great selection, and strict standards to ensure you only receive the best in CBD or Delta products. Hemp House Chat with 2Ts.com. Hemp House Chat with 2Ts.com. Use the promo code HOOKED. That's HOOKED. And you will get a 20%, off your order. Use the promo code HOOKED. Hemp House Chat with 2Ts.com. Josh Turbeville handled kickoff duties. He has an extremely strong leg, but a couple did sell out of bounds. So he is the man who's tabbed to be Tennessee's place kicker now with Charles Campbell gone. Are you concerned about the fact that he had at least 3 kickoffs that went out of bounds? I am not, because a source told me just last week that he actually had a bone issue in his kicking foot, and it was causing some pain, but he was still the best choice compared to Campbell to handle kickoffs because of his strong leg. So I don't think that will be an issue, his accuracy this upcoming year. At least you won't have the foot that'll be a factor on it, Caleb.
Yeah, that's actually that's a very good sign. So they'll probably use him for
Explains a lot
kickoff.
of. When somebody told me that last week, I thought it explained. It was Friday evening, a source I bumped into. I thought that explained a lot because he was money. Turbeville was in high school as a place kicker.
So that's the question. Do you think because of his leg being so strong, he could actually become the place kicker too, like the actual field goal kicker beyond just being a kickoff specialist?
Oh, I was told that's the plan.
That is the plan? Okay. So yeah, look, I mean, Tennessee has it. Brent Samaglia had a strong leg. And he was very good one year, but field goal kicking, I used to say accuracy matters, but I feel like accuracy is easier to pick up in field goal kicking than the leg strength. Honestly, I could be wrong on that, but I feel like if you have the leg power, you can actually train yourself with accuracy.
I could see that. I mean, you only have so much leg strength, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you only have
at
so
the
much
end
leg
of the
strength.
day, Caleb's only going to be able to squat so much weight, and I'm going to be able to squat so much weight. I don't care if we work out for years. Usually, you hit your peak around 3 or 4 years. If we started doing that, what do you think you could get for the record in a squat?
I genuinely have no idea. I'm so out of shape.
I'm
not a workout warrior like Dave. Like, such a
No,
meathead over there.
I can bench more than I squat, man. My legs are awful. If I wasn't fat, I'd have bird legs. All right. What about kickoff return? Any thoughts on kickoff return as we preview?
I think kickoff and punt return will be the same. It'll be. I'm still going Boo Carter or Squirrel White. I think you go for, and I'm very big on this, and coaches disagree with me all the time. They try to save their weapons so they don't get hurt. I think that's so stupid. You put your best weapons on kickoff and punt return. Changes the game so significantly, right?
Yep. Great write-up by Josh. I'm just going to read it verbatim. He writes, Spring star Boo Carter needs to be the pick here. With Williams gone, Tennessee needs a playmaker to step into the punt return role. That creates a perfect opportunity for Carter, one of the nation's most electrifying athletes in the 2024 signing class, and a natural playmaker with the ball in his hands. Great debate over whether Carter belongs on defense or offense. I can go ahead and tell you that's going to be defense, strong safety. I think he'll start out on defense. I promise you that. Josh writing, he was built to star as a return man for Tennessee. And I can't argue that. I think that's the next kind of phase for Tennessee. Let's remember this, too. If we talk about D. Williams didn't hit his potential as a return man because he didn't have 10, 12, 14 fantastic returns during his career. What are special teams made of for the most part, Caleb? Can we do a little football one-on-one here?
Kicking, punting, returning. I'm not sure what you're asking.
No, they're mostly they're the linebackers, running back types.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the guys that are in 6'1" range, 200, 210, 220 pounds. Maybe your outside guys, your gunners are a little bit lighter. But those are the type of athletes you're looking for. Those are the type of athletes that if you're Alabama in the middle of their run, you have a parking lot full of those dudes. If you're Tennessee and you're not, you don't. So special teams messes up all the time. Rising tide lifts all boats. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay. It is no more evident than on special teams, both return and coverage, because you just have more athletes to choose from, period. And Tennessee should be at that point.
Yeah, that's a good point. But if you have, what you also have, and we're forgetting this because we have to mention him before we get out of here on this, is if you have good kickers, your coverage can be irrelevant. You don't really need your coverage because they can make up for lack of coverage. So if Josh Turbyville's leg heals and Tennessee won't need much kick return coverage or kickoff coverage because they'll kick it out of the back of the end zone, I don't think they're going to need much punt coverage, return coverage this year with Jackson Ross. I think Jackson Ross is going to turn into the best punter in college football, and we might see a Ray Guy Award finalist in Jackson Ross this year.
Well, I'm not arguing with that, but I would even say in the return game, I would rather have the better athlete than the team who's covering, because I want to have good feet, loose hips, fast speed to be able to block the guy who's trying to tackle my return guy. So I think it helps you all around, not just.
Yeah. So the athlete, you're saying half of great returning is not the returner themselves, but the guys that you have doing the blocking for you.
Maybe not half, but pretty close. Maybe pretty close.
That's fair. Now, question though. So honestly, do you think Jackson Ross can win a game for Tennessee this year, the way Dustin Colquitt did in 2003?
I think so.